Hey YouTube viewers, my name's Jay, and this is a video response to Miss Neechy with Neechy TV. Um, I This is a response to the musicians getting paid video that I just saw at 12:37 this morning. The purpose is to answer you with, well, to give you my answer, basically. The answer to the question for me is yes. I do believe that musicians should get paid for the work that they do, and people may say that this is a biased opinion on my behalf, but I don't get paid myself as far as for being a musician. I do play the drums, but I don't do that at church, and that's not something that I share with a lot of people. But anywho, I'm saying this on behalf of the fact that I'm a vocal music instructor at a school, and I just took on a position under a friend of mine who's a minister of music to come teach and direct on some Sundays at this church. So I guess you can say that I am paid for what I do, because I am. Anywho, the point is, to go along, side note to that, I guess you can go along with the question, should pastors get paid? Now, I say this because this is a thing that has been a battle between me and a couple of family members of mine, because people say that they don't believe pastors should get paid. Yet you expect this to be a 24-hour job, 24-hour day, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job, but yet you don't want to pay them. These people have families and so forth. It's just like paying the president. Now, I don't believe that the president should get paid until he's out of office, because he's being taken care of while he's in office. But after which, people expect to see them all the time as public figures, but don't expect to have to pay them every year, and you don't give them time to have a real job. So anyway, and not saying that pastors should have another job as a fake job or something. It's just the fact that it is the job that they do to serve God's people. Now, with musicians, it's basically the same way. The time that they spend at church practicing and rehearsing, and even outside of the church, when they spend countless hours, rehearsing and going over parts that so they can get to church and teach you, we don't want to pay them for it, yet we expect them to do it, and expect them to do it on a regular basis. Now, how is that when, you take a couple hours out of the week to come to choir rehearsal and that's it? Yet this is something that I do because it's my life and I do it on a daily basis. But again, we don't expect to pay them for the work that they do. I find it to be a tad crazy, because of the fact that I think of it like this. If they spend so many amount of hours at work, and then they take off in order to come to rehearsal, that is money that they're missing out on, due to the fact that they're spending time at rehearsal. Not saying that God isn't important or anything, but as far as with music ministry and expectancy for it to go forth in a manner that God's people would be pleased, as well as God, to draw people through to Christ, because we know that this is one of the biggest things that draw people in, along with the word. And that just threw me off a bit. But anyway, that's basically the purpose, to say yes, musicians should get paid. Now, I guess more so the question for me is, how much should they get paid? Not so much an hourly rate or salary thing, because certain musicians get paid grands and grands. So I'm finding out. I'm still in amazement about how much certain musicians get paid. But anyway, beside the point, to stick with the purpose in my response, yes, I do believe musicians should get paid. Thinking of the hours that they could spend somewhere else, or the position that they could take at another church. Would you want them to either be at your church or be at another church? Or would you want them to be at work on a Sunday, or work on a Monday through Friday or Saturday, whenever your choir holds rehearsal, your praise team holds rehearsal, instead of being at church, they're at work. You know, you have to find some grounds to think that the Bible says, well, your room will make, your gift will make room for you, and that's what we have to pay attention to. You know, not saying that, you have to pay everybody in the church, but when musicians and pastors take so much time out of their day to make sure that also with satisfying God, the people of God are satisfied with the musicianship, with the pastoring, with the teaching, and with the ministry that is going forth. So that's basically my answer, and I hope to hear from you or hear from your fans or so forth and hear what the responses are to my video. Thanks. God bless.